Okay, onward and upward to part 4. State the slope of the following line. So recall that when it's in the form y equals mx plus c, so when you get y by itself, the coefficient of x will be your slope. So this is a pretty simple one here. Y is by itself, so your slope 5. Done, dusted. Okay, be careful. If you had something that was y equals 11 take 4x, then in this case your slope, actually I'll change that just in case people misread it and not being careful. If you change that to 11 take 7x, well, this time your slope would be -7, right? Not just 7, but -7, because that's the coefficient of x. Okay, not 11, because that's not the number in front of x. So -7 for that one, right? That's an extra question. Extra. Okay, with this one, we want to try and get y by itself. So I'm going to get rid of that 7x. So goodbye 7x. We have to subtract. What I do to one side, I do to the other. So this becomes minus 7x plus 2. At this point, I can just easily say the slope would have to be not just -7, but -7 divided by 3, because that's the number in front of y. And I'm done. However, if a question had said put it in Y-intercept form, then I wouldn't get full marks for this. You would actually have to write -7 over 3x plus 2 over 7. So please make sure that you answer the question. Okay, state the slope of the following lines, and y equals 9. Remember, y equals 9, that is going to be a horizontal line going through 9 on your y-axis, and we know that a horizontal line has a slope of 0. Okay, done. That's question 4. Let's have a look. Next one. Okay, perpendicular slope. So remember, we flip and we reverse the sign. So my perpendicular slope for this one will be -9 over 4. Minus 5 over 1. So the perpendicular slope for that is going to be 1 over 5. This slope is negative, so now it becomes positive. For this, we first have to change it to an improper fraction. So 2 6s are 12 plus 1, we get 13 over 6, and therefore my slope will be -6 over 13. What is the difference between the general form of an equation of a line and the slope-intercept form? Okay, so as long as you are telling me that the y-intercept or the slope-intercept form is y equals mx plus c, that we have the y by itself, and we know that for the general form it's ax plus by. Some people say plus c equals 0. I like to say equals c, and we like to have a being greater than 0. You could give an example if you wanted to, you know, 2x plus 5y equals 6. You could have mentioned maybe up the top, for part 1 is y-intercept form, for part 2 is general form. Just make sure you're showing your understanding. Okay. Find the equation of the line. Oops. That has slope 5 over 3 and passes through. So remember, all we need to find the equation of a line is the slope and a point. We have the slope, we have the point. So we are using our slope formula. Okay, so our slope, we say, is 5 over 3. Our slope formula, y minus our y value, so -6 becomes +6, all over x minus 1. And now we can simply cross multiply. Right, 5 times x take 1 equals 3 times y plus 6. 5x take 5 equals 3y. 3 6s are 18. Now make sure we read the question at this point. It's asked for general form, so that means we're going to keep the 5x, sorry about that, going to keep the 5x where it is. 3y, now it's a positive 3y here, so to remove it, we need to take 3y. Now technically we do that to both sides, but because we take 3y from the right, that cancels out. The 18 remains there, and to get rid of the take 5, we're going to add 5 to the other side. And there we have it in general form. 23. Number 2. Okay, let's read. So is perpendicular to this line and passes through the point. So once again, slope point. First thing we're going to need to do is get the slope from the equation. So how do we do that? We did that before. We try and get y by itself. This time we're going to get rid of this 7x. So we're going to subtract 7x. What we do to one side, we do to the other. So we end up with 6y equals 14 minus 7x. Okay, so what is our slope? The slope of this line will be minus 7 over 6. Remember, it's the coefficient of x divided by the coefficient of y there when it's in the slope when it's in that form. So therefore, my perpendicular slope is going to be not minus 7 over 6, but we have to flip that. So 6 over 7, and we're passing through the point 25. So away we go. We go into our slope formula. 6 equals y minus 5 over x minus its x value 2. We cross multiply, so 6 times all of x take 2, so 6x take 12, 7 times all of y take 5. And before we just go on our merry way, we go back, read the question. It's in Y-Intercept form. That means we have to get y by itself. So I'm going to keep the 7y where it is. I'm going to get rid of this take 35 and add 35. So that becomes minus 6x plus, sorry, take 12 plus the 35. Tidy that up, and I can now write that nicely. I like to have my y on the left, so that's 6x plus 23. And last but not least, because it's y-intercept form, I have to get rid of that times 7, so that will be 6 over 7x plus 23 over 7. I just take one moment to check, can I simplify any of these fractions? And I can't, right? If this was 21 over 7, then I would rewrite this expression, or this equation, sorry, as 6 over 7x plus 21 divided by 7 is 3. So always make sure all of your fractions are simplified. Let's just get rid of that so it's not confusing anybody if they weren't listening. Okay, we'll just finish off with question 7. Find the equation of the vertical line through minus 4, 9. So with the vertical line, minus 4, 9, let's say it's up here. So minus 4, it's passing through this point vertically. So that means no matter what value your y is, x will always be 4. So it should come as no surprise that my equation for a vertical line would be x equals minus 4. If I was asking for the horizontal line through this, okay, so if I was wanting that one, then the horizontal line would be y equals 9. Okay. All right, so that's up to question 7.